Hey, you guys, can you hear me? Say yes in the comment section if you can hear me. Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Good morning. I see Janet is here. Nana's here. Simone is here. Good morning. Good morning. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Yes, okay, good, good, good. I switched streaming services because of the fact that oh, Jenna, thank God you're here. Do you want to come over? Cuz we don't have Keisha's had to work and Trish had an emergency yesterday. Yes, great, great, great. I got a new streaming service that I'm using, so hopefully we won't have any type of issues with you guys hearing the content. Okay, cool. I'm going to send you the email, Jenna, and then you can come over and co host with me today. Nana, do you want to co host as well with me today? Let me know. So, Jenna, I have your email address so I can hear you. Oh, I hear you is very clear. Yes, thank you, thank you. I am so happy that it is very, very clear. Yes, I decided to change streaming services, so therefore, we won't have, hopefully, issues like what we were having in the past month and a half or so. Okay, so Jenna, you want to come over and maybe one other person because it's usually three of us. And with, Trish was going to be on, but she had an emergency, so she can't come this morning. And Keisha has to work. She works every first weekend of every month. So all right, so Jenna, I'll send it to you. Nana, if you want, you can. And Bree, I guess if she comes in, she can jump in. So give me a second, guys. I'm going to send. Um, you said clear, clear, clear today. Absolutely. I am so glad to hear that. I am so glad to hear that. Okay, so hold on. Let me get Jenna in here. So let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me email her. I'm still here, just trying to get Jenna on board so we can do this together. Give me 1 second. And then we're going to jump into this because we had a crazy week. Okay. Invite. Copy the link. Let me cut this down a little bit. Okay. All right, Jenna, it is on its way. Okay, Jenna, I sent you the email, so just go ahead and chime in and we can get this thing started. Yeah, guys, you know what? I was so sick and tired of you guys not hearing me clear at all. And so I'm like, I'm paying money for a service that's not giving me quality service to my viewers. So I decided that I needed to move on. So I'm glad that you can finally hear me and we can enjoy the show. I sent you the email, Jenna. So yeah, as soon as you can get in, jump in and we can do this. Thank you so much. I wanted to try to do it yesterday, but yeah, it wasn't going to. Now, Keisha could have been on yesterday, but I know I had a serious crick in my neck that has been kicking my butt, and I was like, I can't do it. I'm just going to try for today. So, still a little sore, but, you know. All right, so as soon as Jenna jumps in, we're going to do this. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear me. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I am so happy about that. You just don't know how happy I am about that. I did not. I was in so much pain yesterday with that little muscle thing in my neck. It was getting on my nerves. Okay, so Jenna, did you get the link? So you can be my sidekick today. Let me know if you got the link. Go ahead and click it and join on in. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week. I saw Monday's episode and I got, you know what? I'm normally not a fan of summer, but I'm a fan of summer in Monday's episode. I don't know why it's taking so long. Hold on. I see your message, Jenna. Okay, it showed that it was sent, so check your spam folder. Sometimes with links, Gmail have a tendency of throwing things into spam. Yeah, we were having the same problem with the link being sent to Bree. If you can reach the crook in your neck or have someone else do a rub, rub, rub. I know, seriously, I was trying everything. I tried a hot shower. I tried ice. I've tried heat. I've tried stretches and everything. It just sucks. I don't know if you guys ever had something like that, but it is definitely no fun at all. I think I slept wrong. I actually had to flip my mattress too, so maybe that's had something to do with it too. I've watched next week episode. Oh my God, Melanie, what did you think about summer without giving too many details? Oh my goodness. I was so proud of Summer telling Sally, and I was actually proud of Adam putting some on Nick's mind. He had to even think twice as well. Monday's episode is off the chain. Okay, you know what? I'm going to drop it in the chat, Jenna. Here, hold on. Okay, I dropped it in the chat. So join from there, because obviously the Gmail is not cooperating. And that's for Jenna and maybe okay, hey Jenna.
Hey girl.
Okay, now we can get this started. Can you guys hear Jenna as well? Say something, Jenna.
Hey everybody. Good morning.
Can y'all hear Jenna? Say yes in the chat box. Okay, girl. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so glad you jumped right in. I was like, oh my God, I should have emailed. What'd you say?
I said, I am telling you, I saw Monday too, and I am freaking.
Listen, I am so proud of Summer for telling Sally.
But Sally, what did she think she was doing? I couldn't get over that. I thought, just get up in her face. What did you want her to do?
Yeah, I mean, she actually, well, you know what? Okay. Because I don't want to spoil that. That's Monday, but yeah, we ain't going to jump into that.
You know how we are.
I know. All right, let me do a formal intro. Let me jump in and do a formal introduction, and then we can go ahead and break this down. Welcome, you guys, to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where Jenna and I will be doing a recap of both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of February 27th through March 3rd. And I gotta say, that whole thing with Deacon and Sheila, that's gonna be hot.
Girl, and then the thing that I thought was so interesting is there's Liam. Bill is like in La La Land. It never occurred to him that maybe Sheila didn't really care about. I mean, where's his head? It amazed me that all of a sudden he may have this revelation where, maybe she isn't really interested in me. I thought to myself, well, ding dong, where have you been?
Yeah, we gonna get to Bold and the Beautiful, but yeah, we got to talk about a lot in The Young and the Restless for this past week too, especially this whole thing with Devon and Lily and all of that. But let me do the summary and then we'll break each storyline down, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. So, for The Young and the Restless for the week of February 27th through March 3rd, Ashley demanded that Tucker sell McCall Unlimited to Devon. Nate was torn when Victoria ordered him to sabotage any chance of Devon buying McCall from Tucker. Jack suggested that he and Diane get married, and a drunken Phyllis spiraled out of control and later awakened to find Stark in her hotel room. Yeah. Okay, so which one you want to break down first? Let's do the Ashley
I
and
was gonna say, let's get to Ashley. That's interesting.
I honestly think that Ashley is attracted to him and she really wants Tucker to prove to her that he is truly into all of what he talked about if it's actually truly for her. What do you think?
Well, I'm thinking on the same lines you are, but I have to tell you, I've got this reservation where Ashley's concerned. You know, she is. You know how you have that push pull between the heart and the head, and you don't know which one to choose.
Mhm.
Your head's telling you one thing, your heart's telling you another. She is really going through that big time. And I do think maybe she wants him to try to prove himself to her, but there's a part of her that truly believes he never will. And you can see it. That's why she's doing this Devon thing with him. And it's a struggle for him. You can see he is really this guy. I'm not familiar with this actor that much, but I like him, and you can really see the struggle he is going through because he has to prove this, and this never was his game plan.
Now, do you actually think that Tucker is giving her control or Tucker is just playing the game that she doesn't really see?
Well, I can't decide, to tell you the truth. I think he is playing a game. I think he's trying to figure out her game.
Ah, that's a good point. Now,
This is,
honestly, Jenna, I like Tucker and Ashley together. I think they
yeah,
have a
I
good
do too.
on screen chemistry. I think that if they can figure this out, they could be a pretty nice couple on the
I'm
show.
telling you. For me, right now, they're the only couple going on this show that I'm interested in. They have it's just the way that they are playing off of each other, I find fascinating because he is such a snake. The guy is such a snake. But I really think that when he came, because we don't really know what the heck he was doing on the show to begin with, but when he came, he had a game plan. That game plan didn't work. And, he's been just kind of loitering around trying to figure out what to do next. She gives him a way out, she gives him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to figure out what the hell she's giving him a chance for. She knows he's low down. She knows what he's up to. But he cannot figure out what her angle really is. And then she threw the monkey wrench in when she just added Devon to the mix.
Yeah, I didn't know where they were going to go with that. I thought maybe she was going to purchase the debt and create a company of her own or something. And she was
Me
like,
too.
"No, you know what? Go give it to your son."
Yeah. And I tell you, this is going to play into, and I've been telling you about this for a while. Y'all all laugh at me, but I just knew something was going to come up with Devon and this lawsuit he's doing. And she gives him the perfect out. If he loses that lawsuit, which I fully think he will,
Mm-hmm.
if he does, this gives him the perfect place to go. And then he's got Abby, who is pushing him in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's another interesting dynamic to me in a way, because as boring as those two are together, she has a perspective that's coming through, but he's not getting it. She's the one who told him that he broke his contract with her.
Right. Right.
She's the one that made it clear to him first that he doesn't honor his contracts.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Now she's the one that's coming in and she's saying, because she knows if he doesn't win this, where does he go from there?
Right.
And here is her holding out the golden hand saying, come with me.
Yeah, I'm liking the fact that I will say that it seems like Abby is trying to be the voice of reason when it comes to Devon.
I
I
think
don't,
so.
and
So,
you know what? As much as I disagree with Lily, the thing is, at the end of the day, he still signed a contract.
well, and that's the whole point of what Lily was trying to tell him. And I'm going to tell you, I was stunned when I saw Lily's performance with him in that restaurant. I swear I felt like I wrote the script. This is what I have been saying to everybody since we started this stupid subject to begin with. But I felt what she told him was true. This is, and we see this same dynamic going with B&B all the time. There's a difference here between business and personal relationship. And, Devon has no tunnel vision. All he sees is what he sees. He can't see to the left. He can't see to the right. All he sees is just the end of his nose. And she's trying to tell him, this is bigger than you and me. This is a whole nother ball of wax here. You're not playing with the mom and pop organization down the street. We have thousands of employees involved in it. I mean, she's trying to give him perspective, and he just won't move.
Well, here's the interesting thing about all of that, Jenna, is that I think Devon, before signing over the company or whatever, he should have probably vetted properly and say, hey, what are your plans? What is your 5-year goals and things like that before I merge? And then they could have been, if they had told him, well, we're looking to possibly somewhere in the next couple years have the company go public so we can gain this, 1, 2, or 3, then maybe he could have been like, well, that's not part of my vision, so I'm just going to stay out of that. But the conversation was only about families versus business.
And that's where I think the writing mistake was made too, because, Jill, whenever Lily approached Jill with the idea of merging the two companies, Jill was all for it. She thought it was a great idea, but there were the writers kind of left out a chapter there. Again, we don't get the backstory.
Right. Exactly.
Like we missed it, and I think that's why a lot of the fans are siding with Devon. They're thinking of this as a family thing because the story didn't evolve, or give us any idea of where they were planning to go with it. They kind of, like I said, they missed a chapter or two here.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just so unfortunate because if he signed, all the judge have to say is, I'm sorry, I understand this is your dad's business, you created with him, but you signed it over.
Yeah, well, and that's the bottom line. That's what I've said before. Of course, now this is soap opera. We got writers here, so, I don't know. It's hard to know what they'll do. But bringing Amanda back, I found that was interesting.
Well, you know what? When I saw the spoilers last weekend where it says that Lily is going to play a dirty move, I didn't know. I knew Amanda was coming back, but I didn't know that was the dirty move.
Well, and I thought it, maybe dirty, but I thought it was a brilliant move.
I guess it's dirty in the aspect of you suing, she's using the same attorney that cheated on her. That was cheated on against her brother. That's pretty tough.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, that came to my mind whenever this was all taking place, and I thought to myself, when Devon found out that Elena and Nate had cheated on him, he took Nate's career away from him, and he treated Elena like she was dirt under his feet. But when he turned around and did it, it was like, oh, well, this is just another day. He never paid price one for that. Abby's husband is gone. Amanda is gone, So he never paid any piper for what he did. What he did was supposed to be above what they did. I got to thinking about it, and I thought, good move. No wonder she brings Amanda back. Why not?
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how this all play out because honestly, I would, if I was Devon, somebody needs to sit him down and say, look, as much as I understand, you're going to probably get buried in court. And so,
you're right on the money.
Hold on one second, Jenna. And then the other thing is the fact that they should say, look, you got a ready-made company that's probably bigger than Hamilton Winters that is given to you. It's from your biological dad, and it's something that you can pass down to your son eventually.
That's exactly right.
Well, I think Go ahead.
is
Go
even
ahead.
touching the case. My question is about Christine too. See, there's another part of the chapter we left out here. You know, she looked hesitant whenever he hired her to take the case, but we never saw her sit down with him like an attorney and say, "Hey, are you sure you want to go down this road?"
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But look like Victoria is going to make that easy for Devon this coming week. So,
I mean, what do you think she's up to?
well, she's going to have the bright idea of trying to talk Devon out of obtaining Tucker's company, which is going to only make him more intrigued.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I think she's definitely going to sweeten the pot for him, I think, because that's going to make him think there's really something there they want.
Mm-hmm. Hold on one second. Okay, there you go.
But you know how competitive he is. I mean, that's enough to wet his whistle in a hurry.
Yeah, and if I was him, I would be looking at, okay, I could lose Hamilton Winters, but look what I can gain.
Uh-huh.
And I can do whatever I want, Now the question is, where does that leave Tucker? Is he going to try to get back in with Devon, or maybe Devon is going to ice him out?
Well, and that's the question. That's what I'm telling you. I think when I look at Tucker, all I see is Tucker trying to figure out what angle is being played here and how he can play it. I mean, I think he is. Ashley just threw a monkey wrench in everything he had planned to do,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't know how to take her, and he doesn't know. Uh, he's really trying to figure out where he is on the chessboard because he really doesn't know.
Exactly. Exactly.
And,
So,
and I mean, you look at the people that are playing in this particular game, and while it's not come together yet, there's a lot of moving parts to this story, this particular story. This is the only story that's really interested me so far on this show because there are so many moving parts to it. We don't know what part Audra's really playing. We
right.
see some developing with Victoria and Nate, and poor Nate, he's going to be between a rock and a hard place in this, but you don't know who is really going to come out on top.
Exactly.
And you don't know how. And the thing is, Ashley is the one holding all the cards. She's the puppeteer.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to materialize in the next week with this whole thing with Tucker's company, and where that leaves him. Because, I mean, why waste your time? You got a company ready to be taken over by you. And then you rather battle it out in court with your sister, where you're probably going to lose. Now, the thing is that Jill is the one technically that holds the cards with Chancellor Winter, because I mean, as much as Lily is a CEO, she could be fired at
Yeah.
any given moment. So I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
why she thinks that she's living comfortably over there. Because who's to say Jill get mad one day and Lily is out? Now she didn't broke her
Well,
bond with her brother, and
I
she's no
totally
longer
agree.
working at the company.
I totally agree. However, there again, you know, what where Jill is not on the show all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know if there's going to be another. That's why I'm telling you, this story has a lot of moving parts to it, and
Exactly.
you don't really know exactly who's on first. All you know at the moment is that Ashley holds the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes until we find out what happens with Devon. If Devon wins or loses, if he loses, then we go back to Jill and we have to find out where she's at.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So that's why I'm telling you. There's so many moving parts. This story has me fascinated because the writers look like they're onto something really seriously fun here. I just hope they don't drop the ball. I mean, we're still missing some parts to it. But this is truly the best story they have going right now. It's really interesting to see how all of these people are going to play that. And then you got Victor and Adam in this ball.
Well, and my question is, where is Adam going to land? That's what my
Exactly.
biggest concern, because Victor's plan was to give Tucker's company to him to run it. And
And he's
now,
breaking my heart.
and now, and now that that might not be in the cards for Newman, where does that leave Adam? Is he just gonna back to floating around town again?
He's breaking my heart, I have to tell you.
Yeah, it
He
sucks.
is breaking my heart. He is truly breaking my heart. I never thought I would say that about Adam, but he is breaking my heart. I think he has won me over, and it took a long time for that to happen. But he just he's just breaking my heart.
Well, I mean, I've always been an Adam fan, even when it was Michael Muni. I don't know about the Justin Hartley. I don't know. Michael Muni and Mark Grossman really encaptured the dark side of
Oh
Adam
yeah.
Newman, and so I've always been a fan of Adam. Now because he was always the black sheep of the family, trying to fit in, and then when they poke the bear, he claps back 10 times harder. So I always liked that. I wasn't a fan of Victor, and I think because Adam was always like, "No, you're not just gonna tell me what to do."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Exactly. But
but
I like this Adam. I like the way he confronts Victor. I like the way this Adam to me is much more mature. He's grown and he's kind of come full circle with his life. He knows who he is. He knows what he wants. He knows this crazy family game. It's like I keep waiting for Adam to break out of all of this and just go do something else and say to hell with it all.
Well,
You know,
that
if
was the one thing that we would always talk about over the past several years on this podcast, is the fact that we wanted Adam to create his own business. Kind of like what
yeah,
Abby did. Abby said, "Look,
exactly.
screw the Newmans, screw Newman Enterprises. I'm going to open up a restaurant and do my own thing." That's what we wanted Adam to do. Adam, you are a Harvard business graduate.
No kidding. That's what I keep saying. What is the deal now? Look at this. Suppose Jill would hire Adam.
I don't know if that would work.
Well, it would sure piss off Victor.
Oh, well, yeah. You see how pissed off he was with Adam working over at Jabot.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I fought the writers for that. That was something that they really could have really did with putting him as co-CEO. You know what I'm
I thought,
saying? But we never
I thought,
saw him at work. He was always at the bar. He was always worrying about what Sally and Nick was up to. And I'm like, come on.
girl, we got to talk about Sal and Nick.
Okay, let's move into that. So I was so pissed off yesterday's episode. Who is that? Oh, hey Nana,
Yep.
how are
Hey,
ya?
Hey, Nick.
I'm good. How y'all doing?
We good, we good. I
Hey,
can
girl.
hardly hear you.
You what? Trying to get Bree?
No, I say I can hardly hear you.
Oh, let me see if I need to turn the
Maybe
volume
tone the volume up on your. We want to
Okay.
make sure
Okay. Can you
everybody
hear me
hears
now?
what you had to say. All right. So listen, okay. So Jenna and Nana, we're about to talk about this Adam and Sally thing. I was so pissed off. Adam should have an active role in. That's his child that she's
That's right.
carrying. Why are you freezing this man out?
Exactly. I wanted to slap the man. I thought, who in the heck did you think you are trying to convince Sally to freeze out Adam when okay, so he may be the father, but to heck with that, I'm with you and I'll handle it all. And I thought, excuse me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nana?
Absolutely wrong. I can't stand that darn Sally. I can't
Neither.
stand it. And that doggone Nick, I'm beginning not to really like him. I don't care that you sleeping with her. That doesn't matter. That's his child. And he
Exactly.
wants to be involved, and he should be involved.
Yeah, what got me is when Sally said, from I don't need any. Who is that? Is that Bree? Hey Bree.
Yes, it took me a second. right, it took me a second to get out.
Okay, cool. We got the whole crew in this weekend. All right, cool.
It's like stop a minute and say, hey, everybody.
Okay, so with the whole when Sally told Adam, I don't need anything from you at all until after this baby is born. I'm like, are you serious? That man is gonna want to go to see the sonograms. He wants to see the ultrasounds. When she had that headache, why did you call Nick if you were worried about the baby? That's Adam's baby.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
see,
one by
I
one.
find
Okay, so one by one. Jenna, what's your thoughts on that? And then
I
we'll.
just find all of this very convoluted. I mean, I don't know what the writers are doing here. You know, I haven't liked Nick since that scene he pulled with Phyllis in Tuscany. I mean, and you know, blaming Phyllis for all this stuff with Victor. You know, that none of that ever made sense to me, and I thought the writers really did mess that up big time. But you know, he's been bumming around town here for what, the last year, and all of a sudden he ends up, you know, on the couch with Sally, and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, what is Nick's role here? You know, she's young enough to be his daughter, and he's over here freezing out his breath. And when you see the scenes between he and Adam, like we saw yesterday, you really do get where Nick is coming from. And this has nothing to do with Sally. He don't love Sally. He is after his brother. He constantly has to keep Adam down because it's the only way he can feel like he's up. It's his ego. That's all this is about.
Okay, what you got, Nana? Nana?
Okay, I'm trying to. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
Because I could barely hear y'all when y'all.
Oh,
we're talking about Nick and Sally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nick is really. They talk about Adam being jealous of his siblings. I'm beginning to think that Nick is equally jealous of Adam. And I know Victoria can't stand him. That's because he's just as smart as she is, if not smarter. But Nick, he's using this taking advantage of this situation too. And you know, doggone well, if the shoes were reversed, you would want to be in Sally's life during this pregnancy. If she was with Adam, he would want the same thing. But believe me, Adam ain't gonna stand for much more. I don't know if you can go to court for something like this, but Nick, you're not going to take over his child because Adam is not going to allow that. He don't already warned you of that.
Exactly. What you got, Bree?
Sally feels guilty. That's really what it boils down to. She wishes it was Nick's baby. She feels bad that it's not, so she wants to try to put him in a father figure type of role, even though he hasn't really expressed how he feels towards her. I don't think he was expecting anything more to go on besides him hooking up. And for Nick, at his age, he'll land on his feet when it comes to another woman. So if she decides she wants to co-parent with Adam, I don't think it really would affect them too much, because he knows that Sharon's single, Phyllis is, Phyllis. So if he wanted to go back to that, he could. But I don't think it really bothers him either which way. I think Sally's trying to fit a square into something that doesn't fit. I think this is mostly her guilt towards having Adam's baby and not Nick's baby. And I think she really wants to have a relationship with Nick, and I think she knows that this is going to, spread that relationship apart, rip them both apart. But it's her own fault, though. No one told her to sleep with Adam.
Yeah, I know. But my thing is, I guess, is that Nick should have stepped aside and let them figure this out. This whole thing is a hot mess. And and with the writers putting this where I'm going to be with Adam. I almost got back with Adam. Now I want Nick. I'm going to sleep with Nick. But then I got to say goodbye to Adam and then sleep with Adam to say goodbye. And then I'm back with Nick, and then now I found out I'm pregnant. But then who's the dad? Oh, it's Adam's baby. And then Nick is like, okay, well, you're not going to be allowed anywhere near it. I'm looking out for the well-being of Sally. But Adam is like, well, this is my kid. I need to be there. And I mean, it's just a hot mess, which is why on March 6th episode, Sally said exactly, I mean, not Sally, Summer put the real into Sally's face. For those that seem okay, without spoiling it in the comment section, if you watch Monday's episode and you know what I'm talking about, drop a 1 in the comment section, because Summer and Adam, because there was a separate conversation with Adam and Nick. Adam left Nick speechless, as he should have. Because none of this makes sense, the way that the way that Nick and Sally is acting around this whole situation. And thank God Summer and Adam had to put these two on notice.
Come on.
No, I think
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh, it's a doozy, but I will tell you, I am to the point to where I think the only way to solve this whole mess is for her to either have a misdiagnosis or slip on a banana peel. It's going to be one of the two.
Well, I don't know.
It's way too much for me. I mean, I'm to the point to where, this isn't even, I mean, it's to the point to me where I feel like, this is the 50th anniversary. We're doing a rerun, only it's not Sage, it's Sally. Mm-hmm. And it's the kind of thing where, what are we going back to do this over again so Adam can actually have his kid? I would rather her lose the baby and Adam go after Christian.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, it's never been... I mean, you got Connor over there. Thank God he got some form of a relationship. I think he still have custody. Connor stays over at Chelsea's a lot. But with regards to Christian, we haven't seen him in a couple of years, I would say.
Show him.
They always talk about him being... Who's talking? Who said that?
Me, Jen.
What'd you say?
I said, for me, it's just a simple matter of, if they're going to do this rerun, the thing that would make this much more interesting than this 3-ring circus we have going on now is let's change it around. Why don't, if we're going to redo it, then let's redo it and give it a different, I mean, the meaning is Christian. Christian was the last story. Mm-hmm. And we all remember what happened with poor Christian when Sage died and Sharon stole the baby and the whole 9 yards. I mean, why, if they're going to try to freeze him out of having his child, to me, the justice would be for her to lose her baby and let him decide. He's not letting Nick take.
Uh-oh, we lost Jenna. Jenna, are you still there? Uh-oh, she got cut. I don't know what happened. But, are you there, Jenna?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You faded out.
Yeah, okay. No, I really think that would be a better conclusion to this story, because since it's a rerun, and it obviously is, this is a 50th anniversary, and I think the writers thought they'd just do this story again. I really think it would be great if she would lose this baby, let Adam look at Nick and say, look, after this situation, it's dawned on me, I want my son. This is my son.
Yeah.
And it's time I have my son.
What you got, Nana?
I agree with Jenna wholeheartedly. Give me back my child. You want to act like a fool over this one? No, you can have Sally and whatever else going on with that baggage, but give me back my son.
That's right.
Take his son. Take his son. I'm sick of Nick.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had Nick. I've had it with him completely.
Uh-oh, we lost Nana. What you got, Bree?
Oh, she lost it for real. Okay. I honestly, I can take Nick, take him or leave him, to be honest. I don't see why it has to be one or the other. Adam should have access to all of his kids. He has 3 kids. he should have access to Christian, that we have access to Connor, and I would actually like to see Sally actually have a baby. I
wouldn't wish that on anybody.
No, but it gives her another storyline. Otherwise, when she loses the baby, and then what do they do with her character?
Nothing. Go work for Sheila. In trouble.
But I feel I would like to see Sally as a mom. I'm actually kind of curious to see what that's like. But I would prefer Adam to go after all of his kids. Because if she was on the other foot, Nick would go after all of his kids.
Yes, he would.
You know, the crazy thing about all of that is that he just have a very short memory. I mean, and I hate to keep going back to everything that Adam has done, but that dude is actually here walking above 6 feet of earth because of the fact that he risked his freedom in that hurricane in Kansas. Because he could have left him there to die.
That's right.
And then your daughter, on the other hand, she's also above 6 feet of ground, okay? And in college, because part of Adam's DNA is inside of her through that kidney.
But for Nick, none of that rings
out. None of that rings matter. I mean, none of that matters. And it just sucks because every time I hear Nick talk crazy to Adam, I'm like, dude, you could have kept, I hate to say it, but you could have kept your kidney.
Well, and think about Summer, okay? We ain't going to talk about Monday, but let's just talk about this for a minute. You know, she knows that Adam saved her life. Mm-hmm. And, you know, with that little confrontation that happened Monday, you know, there ain't no way she's going to let this pass. So you can book that.
Well, according to the spoilers, and somebody dropped it in the comment section, but I had also saw this as well, is that both Nikki and Summer is going to try to interfere with Nick and Sally's relationship.
Okay, wait till you and I talk next week about Nikki and Summer, because there's a whole lot of dynamic that's going to go on around that too, and it ain't going to just be Nick and Sally.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Nana, you back?
Yes.
What happened?
I don't know. Just faded out, and I couldn't hear nothing or nothing.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us clearly now, Nana?
Yes.
Okay.
Nana, my phone did the same thing. It just kind of went out and then came back in again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I know it's windy over here.
Well, I gotta say, hold on one second, you guys. Okay, on the YouTube side in the comment section, how is the clarity and the quality of us coming through? Because like I told you guys at the beginning, I did change streaming services because we were having so many problems with audio with the other service. So I want to know in the comments, what do you guys think? How's the clarity? Can you hear us good? Is there been any fade outs or anything?
I think I can hear you perfectly because I can, and I'm on my phone, but I've got my desktop going, and I hear you great.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool.
You coming across real good, real clear.
And you know what? Hey, actually, I was paying for the other platform. This platform is free.
Go ahead, girl.
So listen, I'm gonna. That's why I said I'm gonna try this one out, because I got a recommendation from another content creator, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check this out. And sure enough, yeah. So I'm probably gonna stop my subscription over there and cancel that one out, so to save me some money, because I can use this other service for free.
That's good.
Yeah, okay. This one's coming across real clear.
Okay, cool. I'm glad to hear it. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about Nate and Victoria.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, we're going to start with Bree first. What do you think about Nate and Victoria this week?
I have never seen such thirst in my life.
Oh, wait a minute. Listen, Bree. Oh, I've seen some thirst, and that was with Sheila and Deacon. But we'll talk about that later.
I can't wait to get to that. Oh, but Victoria, she irked my nerves. And the fact that she threw threw her weight around in the office, and she felt so calm and confident. And Nate had to put the stop on it a little bit, even though he could have done more. But I've never seen such thirst in my life, but she never puts any of that moisture into her hair in any scene she's in.
Girl, you crazy. You crazy. All right. Jenna, what you got?
I'm just thinking to myself, if Nate is smart, he's going to back down. He's going to be very careful and backpedal a lot. And if he's smart, he will get a sexual harassment lawsuit out of this. She isn't through yet.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, that's what I was hearing a lot about. Is that is straight up SH sexual? Yeah, SH.
Freaking believable. And Nate, you know.
Oh, wait a minute, Jenna.
Yeah?
Remember, watch your words.
Oh, yeah. He is, to me, he's playing this. I love the way the actor is playing Nate with this, though, because Nate, he doesn't know whether he's between a rock and a hard place here. This has hit him between the eyes, and he's just beginning to realize, oh, wait a minute. She's interested in what I can do. She's interested in what I can do.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. What you got, Nana? I think it's your turn.
It's a hot mess. It's just, Nate better be careful because Victoria can be very dangerous.
Oh, she showed that. She showed that.
Yeah,
that woman is vicious.
Yeah, she, you know, yeah, he's thinking, okay, she's trying to come on to me. Victoria be don't flip that thing on him. Be don't got him with the assault, and his behind be out of a job and leaves in Elena. I think he just needs to find himself another job. He don't need to be trying to work with no Victoria.
Well, you know what?
Well, good idea.
He's a whole doctor. He's a whole doctor. He'll land on his feet with another job. He gets to go as far as that. But
yeah, because I'm
Victoria, she can't keep him.
Okay, hold on 1 second, you guys. With the podcast, one at a time because it jumbles up. So pause or in your statement with saying I'll land the plane or I'm done speaking, because therefore if everybody talk over each other, it looks jumbled on recording. Okay? So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Bree.
Oh, okay, my bad. She can't keep a man, so she's gonna bully a man, but I actually don't think it's going to lead to like an SH suit. I actually don't think it's going to happen that way because she could easily. Victoria is a Newman at the end of the day. She can spin it around to where it turns right back on Nate. Her daddy is Victor Newman. It's not going to end well for this man. And this man has already risked losing his medical license already once. He has that to still fall back on. I honestly don't. I feel that he's gonna just keep playing. He's gonna keep playing the game until it's game over for him. He likes the power. He likes the thrill of feeling like he's wanted and needed in business. He's getting something out of this that he's not getting from Elena. Same thing. He wasn't getting anything out of being over at Hamilton Winters. So he's going to feed his ego and ride this out. He has this powerful woman who wants him, who is thirsty as ever. She's parched, hydrated, help this woman. But, you know, he's going to enjoy this ride. I don't think it's going to lead to an SH suit. And the plane is landed.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Jenna. You were trying to say something a little while ago.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to enjoy this ride. I think he's just beginning to figure out what he's doing there. But the thing y'all are missing is Audra.
Oh.
I mean, she is the player in this chess game that everybody is not talking about. But the truth is, she sat down with Elena and she enlightened her. Now, she did that for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a strange feeling that she is going to end up playing a huge part in all of this. and because she's the devil's advocate, she bounces back. I mean, she's like the go between Tucker, and she's telling him everything. They're trading all kinds of information with each other. And, Nate knows, he knows that he can't really trust Audra, but Audra is filling in Elena, and she has no qualms about what she's telling him. Now, as far as Nate is concerned, Nate may, and because he doesn't have a lot of experience in this, and this is just my take on Nate, Nate is just now beginning to see what Victoria wants with him, like I said. But she's going to go for the jugular, and she's going to use him to go for the jugular for her. Nate is not going to like that. That's why I'm telling y'all, Audra comes into play here. So I'm not so sure how Nate is going to play this. He's actually going to be in a position where he can mess all over Victoria if he wants to, because she's given him the power to do it. She just doesn't know it.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I totally agree with the fact with Audra because she has some form to play in this, and she's also looking out for her own best interest. I wouldn't be a bit surprised that one day she end up throwing Nate under the bus for his job. It wouldn't surprise me, and it's interesting to watch this thing, but yeah, she was throwing herself at Nate. I mean, even though he was like, I didn't like what, as much as he said he's in love with Elena, he was talking about how beautiful Victoria is and how powerful she makes him feel and all that. And I'm like, do you love your girl? Which is why Victoria was like, well, maybe she's not giving you everything you need. And I'm like, y'all need to stay away from each other. Either you get together, break up with Elena, and move forward, or Victoria and Nate has to establish some boundaries. But I don't see that happening because they've already kissed each other twice, and Victoria made that perfectly clear that you kissed me twice. So she can easily use that as leverage at this point to throw something to break up that relationship if she wanted to.
Well, Audra is in there fighting to either get Elena. She's enlightening Elena for a reason.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. What you got, Nana?
I'm with her because I'm listening to Audra, and you got Elena sitting there looking all crazy and going into deep thought. I guess she said, "Oh my God, all she's gonna do is walk up on him at that office and catch him. Then it's gonna be all done because she coming."
Oh yeah, you know she is.
She's not sitting back being nobody's fool. Right. She coming. She coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna be something interesting. And she got the nerve. It's just so much shenanigans going on. And I mean, even Audra told him that's what got the last CEO fired, because she was with a Newman with that whole Sally and Nick thing. And now here you go with Victoria.
Same thing.
Same thing. Different people. And I could imagine Victor sitting back looking like, what the French toast is going on with my kids?
You got it. That was, I tell you, you just hit the nail on the head for me, because I keep thinking at some point Victor is going to have to wake up to the fact that couch in Nate's office has been getting way too much business. And the truth is, his kids are all up in there looking for romance, and I don't think any of them are looking for business. I don't know what's going on. But Victor, who seems to be there, ain't really there. He needs to open his eyes.
Here's the other interesting thing is that Victoria might have would have spotted that whole deal over at McCall's with that company if she wasn't so busy trying to sniff around Nate that day in the office.
Yeah. Well, and what about when Victor finds out about Sally? That's going to open his eyes.
Wait a minute. You know how Victor is very protective over his kids and grandchildren. Sally don't realize what she signed up for, whether it's Nick or Adams. I wouldn't be a bit surprised that, Victor tried, once that baby get here, try to get Sally ousted.
If it gets here.
Right, if it gets here.
I would love to see Sally. I would love to see Victor move Victoria. This is the second time you messed up over a man.
Yep.
First it was your husband. Dog got the whole darn company out there, and Victor had to spend all. Well, Adam worked the deal out, and Victor had to spend all that money because you're done behind husband that you don't fell for, that you didn't really know. Now here we go with another man that you don't hire against his better judgment. He let it go. Victor he might figure out that he need to move her behind, teach her a lesson, and give it to Adam.
You know what? I want to see that. Has Adam actually got an opportunity to run the company?
No.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, but it was only for a short period of time.
Yeah, that was a little bit of time.
Yeah, it was very short. And the thing is, like Victoria is making deals and collaborating with Victor. I want to see that between him and Adam.
Adam.
Yep. That would be interesting.
Yep. So, all right, let's talk about Jack and Diane.
Do we have?
I know you don't want to, but you gotta step in for Trish. You hate Diane as much as Trish do.
On this story.
All right,
Can't do it.
What you say?
I said I just can't do it. They pitiful.
I honestly like the chemistry between Jack and Diane. I'm sorry. You can hate it. I don't care. What do you think, Bree? What do you think about Jack and Diane?
I want to be happy for Jack. I really want to. Because why her? Like, it was nice to see him happy and giddy. He was in a whole real relationship, and it was nice to see. If he put a paper bag over her head and not realize all the dealings that she's done in that town. But, that's who he chose. I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop when it comes to Diane.
Well, you know what? Listen, it's not going to be just the shoe. The whole shoe collection is about to drop next week.
What? Okay, let me just. I will just
Jenna?
say this.
Jenna?
I think. Jenna? Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
I'm gonna hold you back, girl.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Because I know you want to say something crazy. Go ahead.
I really don't. What I was thinking was that throughout this whole Diane Jack debacle, we have felt from day one that the shoe was going to drop, and it don't ever drop nowhere. So that's my problem with the story. I'm not seeing any payoff here.
Well, you do realize, Jenna, you do realize the whole thing between Jeremy and Phyllis.
Well, I don't know.
You think that's going to fizzle?
Well, this story has been going on, y'all, for 8 months. And Jeremy, I hate to point this out, but Jeremy has done nothing. If you look at the reality of the story, it's Jack and Diane that's doing all the mayhem. Jeremy's just sitting there still. He has done nothing.
But you know what? Okay, so the guy that plays Jeremy...
we're supposed to be scared of Jeremy, but Jeremy ain't made the first move.
But this is what I'm saying. So I think what happened, originally the guy was only going to be on for 19 episodes, which he did. They brought him back, obviously, because it left a want type of storyline, which is what you're describing right now, that he hasn't really been a threat, right?
Well, he hasn't done much of anything but just hang around. He's like Tucker. I mean...
Right. But hold on. But as we seen, if you saw Monday's episode...
Oh, Lord.
I honestly believe this is where they gonna turn the curve because, and I'm gonna drop a spoiler alert. Yes, she accepts Jack's proposal, which also coincides with Phyllis choosing to sign up to work with Jeremy. So obviously they're about to shift this storyline.
Well, let me tell you. The reason that like I said, I have such a problem with this is because Jack and Diane were never a story. I don't know where the writers came up with this big love thing between them, because that was never happening between them, not even 25 years ago. And this whole thing with Jack, I mean, there's no romance between these two people. When you think back to that one scene where Phyllis was in her hotel room and Jack was in his airplane, it was Thanksgiving. He had her dinner sent up to her, and they had Thanksgiving dinner together while he was on a plane, and there was more fire in that one scene than we have seen in 7 months between these two cardboard figures here.
That was boring. Jenna, you got quiet after I said that.
No, I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind. You can, but I'm looking at romance here. I'm looking at chemistry, at sparks flying, at what's really real here. And this just ain't it. I'm sorry.
You don't like the dynamic between Diane and Jack?
No, because I know it's not real.
Okay, gotcha. What do you guys think? Bree?
I think the same thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Oh, go ahead. Or Nana, you can go ahead.
Nana. Okay. I think the same thing. She's not authentic. Diane is using Jack in a big way, and I feel so bad for Jack because he's so gullible. Look at what's before your eyes. Some of them kept warning you. Kyle, you fall for it because, it's some mother you ain't seen in how many ever years. This woman is not real. She is just going along to get along with Jack. And I do not believe she really loves no Jack, but she loves the fact that she can marry him and she'll be a big part of the family and be a pain in everybody behind, especially Ashley and Summer, they can't stand her. And then Jack acting like the family home is all his home. You should have to have permission to have that heifer in there. That's not just your house. That's not just your house. What you saying?
I said he calls himself Mr. I am Jabot. I just want to throw up on the team.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I can't stand Diane. And my girl Phyllis got to come out on top no matter what.
I'm telling you, and I'm waiting for the day, girl.
Oh my God, I'm on the opposite side of the fence. Phyllis gets on my nerves. I mean, she has been. One thing. First of all, I gotta say, Michelle Stafford and her dresses are absolutely off the chain. I mean, the girl got a body on her, and I think she's like 55, 56.
Yeah, she rocks it.
That girl rocks it. And that's the Phyllis that I wanted to see. She owned a hotel at the beginning. She was running some things. This whole spiral that the writers have her going on, and her kids are at odds. They can't stand her. And she's just so obsessed with Diane. Let Diane hang her own self. Let her shoot her own self in the foot. Then she'll come every time that Phyllis get involved with trying to undermine Diane. It blows up in her face.
Can I ask you a question?
Yo, go ahead.
I'm just very serious about this because this girl she's doing to me what Adam's doing to me. I mean, she's breaking my heart. Okay. And Phyllis is good at that. The actress herself can make you feel Phyllis. So, I mean, you just can feel her, everything about her. But the thing that I have a question about is the writers. Why did they feel that they had to take Phyllis down this road just to put Jack and Diane together?
Exactly. Exactly. I
mean, because this ain't Phyllis.
No.
This is not the Phyllis. We know this is not the kind of Phyllis why did the writers actually feel that they had to do this to this strong character? They took everything from her. I mean, they literally all but destroyed her just to manipulate the fans to like Jack and Diane. That ain't never gonna happen.
Exactly. And the thing is, as much as I do, I'm like you say, Jenna, I like a good romance and whatever. And I mean, the whole progression of that situation where Phyllis and Jack were getting close, they kept putting each other They kept putting each other in the friend zone, and yeah, and playing cat and mouse with each other. And then all of a sudden, because she was still in a relationship with Nick, and when
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah.
dropped that bombshell of "I still love you and I got feelings for you," then of course she went over there and closed the door with Nick to come after Jack, and then Jack was like, I changed my mind. And then I don't like Diane, and now I'm about to marry Diane. And I mean, they just really, I kind
Yeah,
of
but
wanted her, I kind of wanted Phyllis to stay in. She sold her whole hotel just to go work at Jabot. Didn't she get fired? Her kids can't stand her. I just don't like the way that they took her down that road.
me either. Me either. And I want to say this, and I hope you'll give me the opportunity to, for everybody that's listening, because this has been bothering me ever since this story started. And I think that's my problem with the story. We followed the story. If y'all will just bear with me a minute. We followed this story from Phyllis uncovering all the story about Sally and Tara.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she did the right thing. I don't care if people like Sally or what they thought about Sally. Phyllis was right. She did the right thing there.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the story developed from there, she immediately is thrown into this, however the writers wrote this about her and Nick. And she felt, with all the conflict going on with Nick, she was comfortable saying, okay, let's break up, for whatever reason they did, because Jack told her what he told her. And he didn't just tell her, he told Nick.
Yeah.
But he was still in love with her. So she felt comfortable about making that decision. She probably wouldn't have broken up with Nick had Jack not declared himself to her the way he did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then she goes into that wholeheartedly, and they start off slow, and they're friends, and you can kind of see a little something building between them, and they're having fun. And, in walks Dracula's graveyard here. She comes up to the door. And I mean, from there forward, the story has just gone downhill. But what really got to me was I understood Phyllis's desperation when this woman showed up, because Phyllis, it's like anything else in life, y'all. Somebody does you wrong, they're out of your film, you forget about them, they go, okay, fine. This woman shows back up, and everything that Phyllis has been through falls right on her head right then and there. She's in shock. She's not just in disbelief. This woman is in shock. And she knows that everything that she gave up Nick for is now on the line, because she knows this woman's coming after her. Yeah. And what can she do? What can she do? Imagine being in that position. And, for a woman like Phyllis, just walking away and going to cut it, but she has given up everything she had for Jack. Everything.
Hey, Jenna.
And Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes ahead, and of course, I agree. She probably shouldn't have made a fool of herself trying to let Diane know that this was her territory. However way she did it, big deal. If Jack loved her the way he said he did, he would have made allowances for that and said, well, Phyllis, oh no. Jack went after her like she was dirt under his feet. That day he tore into her was the last time he's ever going to get the opportunity to do that. That did it for me.
So, Jenna, let me ask you this. The fact that the writers made, because it's one thing if she was strategic about the whole thing of coming after Diane, they made her obsessive. You know what I'm saying? That she was screaming and lashing out. Even Amanda, when she were friends with her back last year, Amanda was like, look, you need to talk to somebody, because it was all consuming the way that the writers had. It's one thing if, like, with the other characters, if they don't like somebody, they're strategically trying to work through some things to try to undermine. She was obsessive, where she was lashing out in public and screaming, and I don't understand why people don't understand me and things like that. And so it just it wasn't a good look. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
The look was not good to me. I mean, from the very start, where Jack could have easily smoothed over that situation, and none of this spiraling out would have happened with her. Do you understand what I'm saying? She spiraled out because Jack let her down, and he turned against her the way that he did. I mean, it wasn't just a mild. I mean, Jack went after her. I mean, if he would have had a backhand to her face, he couldn't have done any worse. I mean, this man was abusive.
Okay.
He went after her.
Yeah.
And
so watch the that word. YouTube will get me for it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say he was vicious. I could
yeah,
say
that'll
that.
work.
I think.
Yeah.
He was totally vicious in the way he went after her. And I'm telling you, from that moment forward, I knew that Jack had feelings for Diane, and I knew where this story was going after that. Now, as far as Phyllis teaming up with Ashley and Nikki, then that's when the whole thing went to pot. But what I think is that I understand Phyllis. She's tearing my heart out here because she has tried to tell all of these people. The one that got to me the worst, though, was Summer. Because Summer has lived to see that everything her mother told her was the truth, and she cannot admit it to her mother. Sure, she can have feelings about her mother and what she's doing, but the truth is her mother told her the truth, and she has lived it.
Gotcha.
And she cannot be honest with her mother and tell her mother you were right. That's all that Phyllis needed to hear.
You know what? The other thing is, I'm getting an echo. I have YouTube in the background.
No, I don't have anything else.
Anybody?
Nope. No, not me.
Okay, I'm getting an echo. Okay, hold on. Hello? Okay, yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear that?
Yeah. I can't hear an echo. Yeah.
You hear the echo?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
I hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but
Do I have an echo?
you don't, but the rest of us do.
Well, that's weird, because y'all don't have an echo with me either. It's real clear. That's strange.
Say something, Bree.
I think like Restless was saying, we can't talk over top of one another. And that might be a cause of that. We have to.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna drop you guys, and then I'm gonna send you a new link, and then bring you guys back up, okay?
Okay.
Okay, guys, on the YouTube side, we're good. Yeah. Phone or Wi-Fi needs to be off. Maybe that's what it is, Delmonica, but I'll send out you guys on the YouTube side, you guys are good. That's over here on the podcast side. So give me 1 sec and I'll bring the girls back up. I'm going to drop the link, you guys, so look out for it in the chat box. Okay, so I dropped it in the chat box. Hopefully when you guys come up, we won't have that echo on this other side. But on the YouTube side, we're good. You guys can hear me fine, hear me clear on this side. Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys are good on the YouTube side. Ones. Okay, and we'll get started in a minute once they come back up with the new link. Yeah, that was crazy. We were moving good on the podcast side. And okay, you good, Brooklyn? Cool. Okay, there's Bree. Hey, Bree.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Do you hear? I don't hear an echo now, so that's good.
Okay.
All right. Well, until everybody else come up, what do you think about that whole Phyllis, Diane, and Jack thing?
I feel bad for Phyllis and Jack to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, these are grown people.
Mm-hmm.
Phyllis, I'll start with Phyllis.
Okay.
Everyone's told her to lay off of it, to leave it alone. Jack's going to make his own choices, let things pan out the way it should be, and she couldn't help herself. I feel this has always been Phyllis's character. I don't like how the writing has been going for her with this particular storyline, but this has been Phyllis's story since the character came upon the scene in the 90s, where she is too involved and too invested, and she wants to see everything through until it's back into her favor. I think the writing is kind of the way the storyline is coming to its head is, Phyllis, you're too old for this. You're too involved for this. We just seen your 13, 14-year-old granddaughter at this point.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's like you got to reinvest your time into something other than looking good in nice dresses and figure out why Diane and Jack are doing. There's no point. Jack is still going to do what he wants to, and this is why I don't feel bad for Jack. Everybody has warned him. Ashley, Nikki, Phyllis, Victor has warned him about Diane, and it's to the point now where if he falls flat on his face, he only has himself to blame.
Absolutely.
So he can be mad if at the consequences of committing a whole crime for this woman he keeps defending. I understand this is Kyle's son, but perfectly fine why he wants to try to, mend that relationship and have a love romance on his own too. I get that. But why this particular woman? Out of all the women he could have picked, he was better off being by himself. This has created a whole lot of chaos, a whole lot more issues, and it's not going to go away because Diane has been off of the scene for well over a decade, and you don't know what she's gotten herself involved in. Jeremy Stark is just one of the people that she got herself involved in. You don't know who else she could be mixed up with and what else is going to come to play. At least with Phyllis, you know what you're getting each and every time. Now, I understand what Jenna was saying as far as like the beginning of like the love story with Jack and Phyllis. They've been kind of playing this yo-yo game for years as it is. I always like Jack with Phyllis. This is a very long route to go about putting them back together if that's the case. But I think with this particular storyline, and like with a lot of Y&R storylines, they like for people to fall flat on their face, and then they have a really big triumph in the end. So I'm hoping that we're getting to the peak of this storyline, to where Phyllis can look down at everybody and be like, I told you so, I told you so, I told you all. And I hope for that.
Right. What about you, Nana?
Yeah, Phyllis got to come out on top. And the thing about Phyllis's character that she's playing in the storyline is that's the way the writers are writing it. And we can't never forget that. This is a soap. So it's not so much Phyllis or, just she's doing what she's supposed to be doing.
Oh, yeah, understandable.
Right. And we're having the reactions that we're supposed to be having, I guess. But I love Phyllis. And I love Phyllis and I love her with Jack. And I didn't really go for her with being with Nick, because how she got Nick and took him from Sharon, I wasn't feeling that one at all. But she's always my character because she's a strong character. She's not looking very strong now. They have her looking like she's crazy.
Exactly.
Like she's just going from pillar to post, and that's not Phyllis. Phyllis is eccentric. She's not crazy. And I'm like, okay, how we gonna wrap this up? Because Diane's sitting there pretending to be Miss Nicey with so much class. No, Diane, You's a heifer, and you needs to be up out of here. I'm sick of Diane. You needing a Jack. Now, I hope he don't get in no trouble and go down for this stuff, because he just was being delusional. But I just don't want him. And then it's just so terrible, because everywhere Phyllis turns, she's, the door's being shut. She don't deserve that. She don't deserve that. Yes, she's done some things, like you say, she should have just let it go, but she didn't. But the way she's being treated, she don't deserve any of that. Now, I don't know. Now, I don't think Phyllis is crazy enough to let Stark take her down no path of destruction. She's pretty smart girl, pretty smart woman. So I guess I just got to hold on, because I be holding my heart. I don't mean no harm. Phyllis, please. So I be holding my heart. That's how much I love her. And I'm like, Phyllis, please, just like you be saying, let it go. But then I'm looking at Diane, and I be wanting to go through that scream. Oh! But anyway.
Girl, you so funny.
I'll let it go at that.
Well, you know what? Somebody was asking in the chat, why is Daniel so pissed off with his mom? And it was because of the interference flying out to Portugal. Was one of the reasons, and he didn't tell her. She didn't tell him. She kept it a secret and snuck out there, and then only for Heather to come back to say, I got a new man and we're breaking up for good. And so of course, he's pissed off at that whole thing. So, but yeah, Melanie is right. She said Diane's world is about to crash down once more secrets come out.
But the good thing, Tish, is that Phyllis did go out there, because he was left in limbo. His dumb behind ain't know what was going on. Phyllis did go out there and get her to come back and tell him that much.
Well, I don't think Phyllis did the wrong thing there. I think Daniel has a terrible inferiority complex, and I think she made him feel inferior when she took over and just went, and did that. The truth is, Daniel, we know nothing about. This is one story that they really didn't give us a backstory on, and Lucy made it even more elusive to us, because we don't have a clue what Daniel has been up to cause all this upheaval. And when Phyllis went, and I guess that's my point about Phyllis here. Yeah, she should have, backed off. Yeah, she should have done it. But that's not who Phyllis is. Phyllis could not get over the fact that all of these people know this woman like she knows her, and they just offered her comfort. Jack just took her in. Everybody just rallied around Diane like she was some saint, when Phyllis knew she wasn't. But this is the bottom line with Daniel, where I'm concerned. That's his mother. And he knows his mother. If anybody knows Phyllis, it's Daniel. And he should have understood that her feelings for him, she could see him spiraling out. She could see what was wrong with him. She stepped in to help. The way they do her is they just tell her off. They don't do it with any compassion. They don't do it with any love. They actually don't care. These two kids of hers are totally into themselves and what they're doing. They could care less about Phyllis. And Phyllis is here spiraling out of control in front of their faces, and they're helping her down the rabbit hole. That's what I'm doing.
Well, speaking of I don't know anybody else's situation on the panel. I got a 22-year-old and a 25-year-old, and when I overstep, which sometimes I do, they'll be like, Mom, I got this. I'm grown. I understand you want to help, but, and I understand that mama bear mentality, but when you're talking about two grown adults, it can get kind of sticky.
It can. I agree with you there, too. It can. But I think that, it's just both of her kids are in crisis, and she sees it, and she sees what's going on. Like I told you before, Summer should have told her mother that she was right. She didn't have to treat her mother the way she has.
Gotcha.
Some of them remind me a lot of Nick lately with all her highfalutin self. I mean, I'm going to be for her when it comes to Sally, but when it comes to her mother, she's playing Nick's role way too much for me to be comfortable with her. And I feel like she thinks she's better than her mother, and I don't like that.
Right. Okay, cool. Cool. We have. Dang, we spent the hour and a half on The Young and the Restless? Wow. Okay. It was a lot to unpack this week. All right, let me just kind of do some housekeeping details. For you guys in the comment section, we got a big group of you all. I see all the comments, the pink hearts, the emojis. Make sure you hit that like button. It lets YouTube know. It lets YouTube know that the content is good and they'll recommend it on the recommended page. Also, too, if you haven't subscribed, because we do recaps over here, we do all kind of fun stuff, and we do these weekly lives. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button as well. Okay, so Duran, I look like you jumped in. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Tisha? Tisha or Tisha?
That's fine. Tisha's fine. How are you? We haven't seen you in a while.
I'm doing. I know. I've been busy.
Oh, okay.
I comment on your videos like all the time. So.
Yeah. Cool.
I commented on like your videos like all the time.
Now, are you outside? Because I hear a lot of background noise. Duran? Hello? Okay. Well, we'll keep moving. We got to go over to the Bold and the Beautiful. So let's go ahead and do that one, and then I'll read that, and we can talk about that one. Okay, so for the Bold and the Beautiful for the week of February. Okay, Duran?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I hear a lot of wind and background noise.
Oh, I'm in my car. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, cause it's picking up on the actual recording. Okay, so.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so.
I'll step out of this.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so for the Bold and the Beautiful for the week of February 27th through March 3rd, Sheila confessed her true feelings about Bill and made an irresistible request of Deacon. Steffy and Thomas made up. When the numbers for Hope for the Future slumped, Steffy decided that Hope could end the line or rehire Thomas. Bill's family remained frustrated about his connection to Sheila. All right, where we want to start, ladies?
Let's start with Bill's family.
Okay, go ahead. You kick it off, Nana.
Liam, well, both of them kind of losing it, but Liam just can't get it. I mean, just like the rest of us just can't get it. And I'm like, okay, Bill is determined. You can see Bill's disposition. He don't care.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to deal with it. That's this attitude. So I don't know what more that the sons can do. I just don't know what more they can do. So, and then I'm looking at, how can I forget her name? Sheila. You over there with Deacon. The sons, one of them sons got to catch him. One of them sons got to catch him, or it got to be Hope. Somebody's got to catch the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Bill will believe it. Who knows? Because, he's kind of delusional.
All right, what you got, Bree?
To be honest, this week kind of just showcased this is regular Bill. This is like normal Bill Spencer to me. He stayed consistent with his sons. Like, no, this is the woman I want to be with. Even like, I think Wyatt had like a phone call, came in for business. He was like, no, you handle your business. He was still running his ship. He didn't look like a whole zombie like he'd been for like the past month or so. So he was really sticking to his guns when it comes to Sheila. My only issue with Liam, does he work? What does he do? That he has all this free time to go back and forth forth with the baby, go back and forth. The Forrester, go back and forth to his dad's house, to have a lunch meeting with Deacon. What does he do? What is his job? You got all of this free time for what? Your daddy is grown. He's going to let these people fall as they may. And at least Wyatt, you know he's out doing something. He's making an effort to earn his paychecks. But I feel like if Bill is not a dumb man, he knows the weight this is carrying on his family. He knows the stress that is holding on Steffi and Finn and her family. But he's a man who always gets what he wants. He knows that if Sheila were to betray him, he's going to lock her up. But he kind of made that clear. I'm glad he made that clear.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of Sheila screwing up for herself, which I guess that won't be a matter of time when she does that.
Exactly. All right, Jenna, what you got?
Well, I'm just laughing because Liam is trying to tell his father that he can't trust Sheila. And Sheila in the split screen is over there with about to jump his bones. And Liam is like, this bell is going off in Bill's head like, boing, hey, maybe, I can't, if you remember when Sheila was leaving in that scene Friday, he wanted to know where she was going. I mean, Sheila's been going out all kind of places, but she ain't going with Bill. And I find that very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like it's just beginning, the light bulb is coming on in Bill's head that maybe Sheila, ain't exactly up and up either. I mean, where is she going all the time? But be all that as it may, I am waiting to see, because none of this story makes any sense to me, but I'm waiting to see just, how much more, I mean, what... it just boggles my mind that Sheila comes out with this story about how Bill is driving her crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He wants to talk all the time, and he wants to, and Sheila's not into all of that. She ain't into Bill. She never was into Bill. So that's beginning to develop and come out. And it looks like they're using Wyatt to try to get the light bulb to go off in Bill's head, which is amazing to me because Bill usually is a whole lot more smart than this.
Well, I will say it's actually Liam is going to be the one to throw doubt this upcoming week. In his day. Huh?
He's on the road to doing it.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is what really got me was it yesterday's episode when Sheila was like, when I'm sleeping with Bill, I'm thinking of you. And then while she was talking to him, she looked down to realize that he got a rise out of that conversation, if you know what I mean. And then she was like, I need one thing from you. And she ripped the buttons open on his shirt and threw him on that wall. I'm like, I haven't seen nothing on Bold like this in a while. Am I watching daytime TV or Cinemax?
I mean, she looked like she was in my pole, honey.
Girl, listen. Sheila, she's a psychopath in more ways than one, I guess. So
it don't look like Bill is coming out of this looking like a stallion at all, does it?
No.
No. Oh no.
What you got, Bree?
It was so funny because she was having a whole conversation with Deacon. I'm gonna paraphrase it, but she was like, "This man is emotional. He wants to know how I'm feeling. Like, I'm supposed to give a response each and every time I tell this man. I don't know what to do. I have to leave each and every time."
Yeah.
I fell out because this is the most honest I've seen. She it gave some clarity as to how she really feels towards Bill. But she's like, I can't take being around this man. And I'm like, maybe he should be with Katie. I see
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing was crazy because it goes to speak on the fact that she obviously don't want a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, that guy, and not saying that Bill is, but just the fact that Sheila is like, oh, he want to know my feelings and he want to talk to me, and I'm like, okay, you don't want that? Alrighty then, Sheila. Listen, listen, and I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. Sheila need her back blown out by Deacon. I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said Gina having a fit over there.
Is that Jenna or is that Bree?
That's me. I'm hysterical. Y'all are killing me over here.
I'm serious. The girl, listen. That girl, she needs a hot night in the sack, and obviously Bill ain't doing it for her.
Y'all know what's making me laugh. I'm sorry because I'm not sharing this with y'all, but it's in my head and I can't help it. All I can do is see this picture of Bill in my mind, hoofing and making the horse sound in front of Brother.
Oh my God, you so crazy. Hey Bree, what do you think? Do you think that's what Sheila wants? She can't.
I don't know what Deacon has going on, but like I said last week, he's looking fresh. He got a whole new energy to him. He's very cool, calm, and collected. I can see why she would gravitate towards Deacon. I mean, he might have a few more tricks up his sleeve, and unfortunately, this billionaire can't afford to appease little Miss Sheila and her 9 toes.
Has it ever occurred to y'all that, when you ain't right up in the head, you ain't right down in the other parts either?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nana, are you okay over there? You kind of quiet, girl.
No, you can't hear me?
No.
Oh my God, I'm up here laughing at Gina with her crazy self. And then Bree gonna talk about some 9-toe. So, and I just sitting up here laughing at all of this. But let me see what we was talking about. Talking about that
Sheila and
I don't know because she gonna end up sleeping with Deacon.
Oh, that's going down on Monday.
Yeah, and I don't know who want to catch him because it seems like nobody's ever around.
Well, let me ask you guys this.
He might send detectives to follow her. Because, Bill got that kind of money. To follow Sheila.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
well, let me ask you guys this. Because if Liam decides to do some detective work on his own, would that be putting himself in a catch-22 that if he finds out that Sheila is actually sleeping with Deacon, how would he have to break that news to Hope?
He ain't going to have no problem with it.
You don't think so?
Nuh-uh. He going to run and tell her.
No problem.
Uh-oh. Who is that? Bree?
Oh, that's me.
Oh, Jenna. Go ahead.
Oh, I was agreeing with Nana.
Oh, okay.
I was agreeing with Nana. He's not going to have no problem taking that to Hope because he's finicky when it comes to any sort of relationship with Deacon. I mean, they had a nice conversation early this week, but that can easily change. Liam is quick to tell a person that I was right this whole time, this, and this. And plus, a little detective work is probably the most work he's done on the show. That he had to involve his relationships, regardless. This is the most work he probably will be able to do for his daddy.
Yeah, well. What'd you say, Jenna?
I think it's going to be Steffi.
You think Steffi gonna figure it out?
I think Steffi's gonna walk in on him.
Oh, okay.
And I have a feeling it's gonna be at the opening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind and I don't know why, but they keep showing Steffi and she keeps talking about how she's got to find a way to get Sheila. jail. And Steffi is the one we keep hearing from. She's the one who is determined to find out about Sheila. She's trying to figure out an angle to where she can get Sheila put back in jail. And that's why I kind of think it might be Steffi that's going to walk up on him.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'm curious to find out how she's going to get busted.
And then Liam is the one who brought it up to his dad. How could you do this to Steffi? You know the way you feel about Steffi, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he sure did say that.
Name around a bit.
Yeah, so I mean, actually, that story with Steffi, the whole conversation with his sons, and all that tie into one storyline. And I'm wondering how this is all going to implode. Who's going to catch them? Because I mean, at this point, she's trapped. She's trapped in a relationship with, cause her freedom is intact. If she screwed that up with Bill, she is going back to jail.
Well, she's definitely walking on the wild side. I don't guess she cares.
Yeah. Only way, you know what? Only way that she can get out of this is if she got some other leverage on Bill. But I don't know if that could be the case. Who was that? Was that Nana?
Mm-hmm.
What were you saying?
What did I say? I can't even remember what I said.
Lord.
I'm thinking, we don't really know who's going to be they pushing Steffi, yeah. But remember, it's a grand opening. Brooke will be there. Taylor will be there. Everybody that knows him is going to be there. It's going to be real interesting to see how this play out. But I believe Liam is going to be the one to nail her behind.
Mm-hmm.
That's his dad.
Sheila wanted to go to the grand opening.
Oh, I know what I said. I'm sorry.
She ain't ready. Sheila don't want to go to the grand opening because she don't want to give anything away, so she ain't gonna want to go. But she's gonna decide to go at the last minute. That's what I'm telling y'all. And this could end up being the last minute of her life.
Well, you know, the other thing is, even if she don't go to the grand opening, she probably hoping that it's over, sneak over to Deacon's and somebody catch her.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna go. It's all gonna go around that grand opening. That's the only thing I can gather because, I mean, there's always some big event when something's got to happen.
Right. Exactly.
Do we know when I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
Nana. Do we know when her contract is going to run out?
3 years.
Oh, she got 3 years.
Yeah. Kimberly Brown.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Kimberly Brown. She signed that contract for 3 years. I think back in December.
But that doesn't mean she'll be there for 3 years. It just means that she can be used by the network for 3 years. It doesn't really mean she'll be there for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
I just read that. It's not that I'm smart. I just read that.
Oh my God, Nina.
That's what I read at Soap Central, that, somebody had asked the question if she was going to be on the show for 3 years.
That's funny. Okay, so we also got to say congrats to who? Carter. We got 10 years this year.
Well, they didn't do much about that, did they?
No, they gave him 10 minutes.
Did they give him that long?
Listen, all he got was a card, a handshake, and a couple of fantasies. That's it.
That's a hand-engraved clock, didn't she?
Say that again?
I think Steffi gave him a hand-engraved clock or something.
Yeah, they didn't give him the big spectacular, a whole episode to himself. They just gave, like I said, they gave him about 10 minutes.
I think he deserves a whole episode to himself now. He's not that major of a character.
Yeah, I mean, he's hardly ever on. He's hardly ever on in certain circumstances, so.
Yeah. He got what he deserved.
Yeah, after that whole 10 minutes, they rushed him out of the office, and the rest was about Thomas and Hope. Okay, so let's move into that. To me, in my opinion, that whole Thomas begging Hope, please, 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 I'm like, dude, you got leverage.
Amen.
Because my thing is, she the one is about to go to the unemployment line because of the
Mm-hmm.
fact that it's either you choose me or you have nothing. And the thing is, because Steffi has forgiven him, even if she said, you know what, I'm going to walk away, I don't want to work with you, he's still a Forester working there, and he's still a designer. He could design something else for the company. You're the one that's out of luck, Hope. Make a decision. But all that, oh, please, Hope, let me come back, I promise. I'm like, Thomas, you don't have to beg her. All right, who's next up? Bree, what you got on that?
I I didn't really see it as begging. To me, it didn't seem like he was begging. I think he was really trying to just call a truce. I think he did a lot of begging weeks before when he was really trying to get on. But now that he has Steffi on his side, almost things are turning around for him. He knows that he can either work on this line with her. I think he generally wants to help her, or he can be able to do something new or work on couture with his grandfather or Zindi when he's not in the credits. But I feel like he's just trying to break middle ground. I can see like in his head that maybe he wants to try to have a good relationship with Hope so they can go back to the same co-parenting routine, because he's seen the result of Douglas choosing Steffi as a result of that. If he sees his parents working together in a business sense, they maybe work together in a family sense without having to be together. So I can see with him just trying to create, a truce between him and Hope. But I mean, what is Hope really gonna do? I don't know why she was like like standing around and like puffing and puffing, like, oh, really? I can't believe this. Like, you forgive Thomas? Like, what, girl, what are you going to do? Are you going to sketch on a pad? Is Liam going to sketch on a pad? Who's going to work for you? Zindi is in the credits, girl. Eric is pretty much near retire. What are you going to do? Rich is on a whole sabbatical and midlife crisis. What are you going to do? Just keep your line and then work with Thomas. That's just me, though.
But you know what? Let me address something that I thought that it was interesting that you say that when she was up in there whining and crying about the fact that Steffi forgave him. Hope was banking on the fact that both Steffi and Taylor was going to stay mad at him longer. They weren't going to forgive him this easy. And that whole situation also affects this whole custody thing, because if they forgive him at work, that means that, remember, Hope told Steffi when she dropped off Douglas a week ago or so, you need to keep an eye on Thomas. You need to control that situation. And Steffi was like, I got you. I got you. Now, Hope has to realize that she doesn't have the leverage that she thought she had.
Because Steffi flipped the script.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. What you got, Jenna?
Well, I'm sitting here listening to y'all. I agree with everything y'all are saying. I frankly don't know where Hope really fits in any of this. I saw her sitting in on that board meeting, and I was totally shocked over that. Hope is a deadhead, basically, y'all.
No, you didn't say that.
But she runs Hope for the future, though. That's her baby.
Well, but not really. I mean, she's a name, okay? She's a name on a brand, but I mean, she doesn't do any of the designs. She's supposed to be the inspiration for the line itself. But this is where I'm at on it. I'm tired of hearing Thomas begging all these people, and I'm tired of hearing him apologize to all these people. because I don't hear anybody else apologizing. And I never did hold him totally responsible for all of this at all, because I think everybody from Liam to Hope to Brooke herself played a big part in how all of this happened. And Ridge, who just happened to be gone now, he owes everybody in here an apology, and ain't nobody talking to him. So I'm kind of fed up with this whole thing. I feel personally like Thomas should have his own line, because Thomas is a star designer. This guy can work. I mean, he even had the next collection ready to go, and they fired him. Who is stupid enough to do something like that?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, mess up with these people who give Thomas the new generation of Forrester and let him run with it, because he is definitely talented. He don't need Hope for the future. Hope for the future needs him.
Yep.
And I'm tired of hearing about, why don't they just hire another designer? You know how long it takes to do that? You have to hire another designer. He has to get a feel for it. By the time they put all this in production, they will have lost so much money, it wouldn't even be worth trying to recover it. Thomas had the line ready to go the next day. They didn't have to lose the money. And all those people from Brooke to Hope to all these idiots sat in that room and they fired him, not thinking for 5 minutes that they were going to lose millions of dollars if they did. I mean, this is the difference between personal and business. And now he's got to apologize to all these people. He's making millions of dollars. Let me tell you, where I come from, that's the bottom line in business. You don't fire the person that's making the money. You fire the person that's not.
Hey, Jenna. Would you? Victoria wouldn't give a rat's behind about none of this.
Thank you.
She'll be like, you know what? I don't care about all that. That's y'all stuff at home. That's all personal.
Amen. And let me tell you, Eric is sitting up there so busy protecting Brooke against his own grandson. And I'm sitting here thinking, the grandson is making you millions, old man. You just lost your whole jewelry line, which Carter sat in a room and told you was going to lose you millions. Hope for the Future was supposed to pick up that slack, and you just fired the person that's going to do it. Where's your head?
Ooh-wee. Go ahead, Jenna. You passionate.
Well, maybe I've been in business too long, I don't know. But I'm sitting here thinking these people are all cutting their nose off to spite their face. And poor, they said, I mean, there were all kinds of ways they could have punished Thomas if they wanted to, but not the bottom line of the company. That just didn't make, on top of the old man going after Quinn, poor Quinn, she's gone. They have lost a fortune. Mm-hmm. According to what Carter said, they had lost. She was bringing in the most money in that company, and they lost that.
Yeah.
So that the old man could have Dummer. Well, he's got Dummer, and they lost millions. So here we are again. Who cares what Hope thinks at this point? If I was Steffi, this is where I give Steffi wrong. She's the CEO. She's supposed to make the decision. The buck stops with her.
Exactly.
I would say the same way you took him out. Do you bring that board back together and you put him back? Don't just leave it to nobody Steffi.
And I wouldn't be worried about no person.
You need Reg. You need his grandfather. You need Steffi. You need Brooke. And you need whoever else was at that table. Not just no Steffi making no decisions. Well, she don't know what Brooke and she don't know what Reg and Brooke and the grandfather going to be saying.
Who can, well, but the thing is that she's the head of the company right now, and being that Ridge is out doing whatever for the last 3 months, she has to make a decision. And even Carter said that Hope's line is bleeding money out of the company. I mean, and for Hope to actually say, well, we can just hang on for a little while and it'll change. And I'm like, girl, you actually want the company to just carry your line just because? No, if it's not making money, it's got to go, or you need to make changes.
That's the problem, Letitia. You just hit on it. See, you understand this. Let me tell you, nobody would be even considering Hope at this point. Like I told y'all, Hope is basically a deadhead in this. And the truth is, she has this it's past the time for Steffi and all of them to sit down, and I don't really care about Brooke and I don't care about Hope because they're not stockholders here. They don't really, this is not their company. But I am telling you, if it were me and I were sitting in that room, there would be no Hope. Thomas would be given his own line, and he would be working he wouldn't have time to get in trouble. I'd have him working so hard. This guy is talented. You saw what the retailers thought of him. He made that line. I'd give him his own line. I'd call it the new generation of Forrester, and I'd stick him out there and let him go for it. He wouldn't have time to get in no trouble.
What you got, Bree?
I agree with that. Now, my only thing is, I think, although Brooke really doesn't have a role, I think at this stage in the game, she has some sort of stakes in that company. Because she's also made a lot of money for that company herself.
Yeah, but that was a long
time ago, but it's the backbone for that company though. So they do lean on to what her say is. That's why she's part of that board meeting. But I agree. The way that they fired him, that's the way they all should be bringing him back. Rich should be in that seat. Steffi wasn't there for the last board meeting. But the fact that the way they let him go, they all should be begging for this man to come back. Otherwise, Thomas has the control to let that whole company crumble. But being that that's his family's company, he's not going to do that. I think he's really, I understand like some people in the comments are saying like they don't feel like he's changed, like he's going to therapy. Unfortunately, the writers won't allow us to see that, but I'm just going to just follow the story. If he is, this is a really good thing that he's just trying to make truce with everybody. He wants to try to make peace and just try to show that he's able to make a living and try to do good for his son. I don't understand why Hope is like trying to like dangle this bait as if she has any bait to dangle in front of him. I honestly feel that she has no bait to dangle in front of him. The company is bleeding she's draining money out of this company with her line. And they could easily just tell her no, but they're trying to give her an opportunity out of respect for her. And I think in the back of Hope's mind, the only thing she's thinking about is Liam. Liam is not going to be okay with this. Liam's going to hate this idea. Liam's going to try to stop this. And I'm like, Liam doesn't work for you. And apparently he doesn't work for his daddy either. So it's a matter of take control of this line if you're passionate about it and you want it to do well and you're concerned about the workers who work for your line. Just like you said weeks ago, Hope, it's about business, nothing else, and let it be that.
May I interject something here, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Y'all are forgetting about Brooke. But Brooke is the core basis of what is wrong with Thomas. Now, Brooke is no longer married to Thomas's father, so that puts Brooke in a whole different position here, okay? And the reason that she has been there is because she's had relationships and children with both men. But as far as her power in that company is concerned, the only power she has comes from Eric's own mouth. That's it, okay? She really has no power other than that. Hope's whole position there is based on her mother's position between those two men. The bottom line is, Thomas, if you remove Brooke from Thomas's sphere and just let him roll on and do his thing, Thomas ain't going to be a problem. But if you continuously have her and Liam needling him, he will be. That's why I say give him his own line, keep him so busy he don't have time to worry about all them people. Either that or put him in his own company.
I have to take up for Brooke. I am a Brooke fan.
I'm not.
Brooke got just as much right as to what goes on in Foster Creations as anyone else. I wouldn't be saying she ain't no stockholder because I can't quite remember, but I don't think she's out in the cold. because Earth would never allow it, and neither would Ridge. She has to say, yes, she's a much older character now. But I remember Brooke bedroom line. Brooke was the breadwinner for Foster Creations. So just because she's older now and she don't have as much, she don't go to the well, she's always at the office, but she don't have a whole lot to say. I don't think what she says or what she does should just be kicked out the window. She's still the same woman. She's still the same woman that made that company fist over hand over fist. And don't just take and think you're going to dug her daughter. The point was that when Steffi raised that issue in the office, you blindsided Hope. I don't care what else happened.
Well, hold on one second, Nana.
And y'all was on one accord.
Nana, let me say
now
this.
You come in and here come that darn Taylor running her darn mouth. Talking about, and then you say, well, she's begging him. You talking about begging, you better think about fear. Because every time, and I don't hate Thomas, but every time Thomas is trusted, he ends up disappointing. And I mean disappointing in a big way. And the main one he keeps using is his baby. He's not a great father. He's not a great individual. Yes, he is a great designer. Maybe the thing could be is you work from home. And so I'm comfortable with working along with you. But just to say she don't have no say, she's nothing. I don't agree with that.
Okay, so
she's a deadhead.
Let me interject in here. The thing is that the writers have to they got to change the trajectory of this because they've written Thomas into a corner. And so with him being ostracized from the family, being ostracized from work, what are you going to do with the Thomas Forrester character? So either you leave him there in the corner or he just go off into the sunset. Or if you want the character to stick around, you got to redeem him somehow. And obviously the way that they decided to do this was to have Taylor and Steffi bring him back in, because him just sitting around over at Paris's house or the house that they share apartment and fighting to try to see his son, okay, that's a half of a storyline. But if Matt Atkinson is going to really be able to get the meat of a storyline, they got to write him out of that corner of being ostracized. And that's the thing I think they're trying to do. Now, the question is he going to change? Like LaShanta Stack said in the comment section, Tom need to have a whole new love interest away from Hope.
Oh, I totally agree.
And then at the other token is, if he does not design for Hope, design for something else. Move him over to couture. Move him over to the create a men's line or something to really give him a storyline and fix the relationship between him and his son. Let Sheila be the villain on the show instead of Thomas, because she's definitely doing an excellent job at being the villain right now. So in regards to Brooke and that whole situation with, I honestly think that they're using her not being there as a way to create a new divide between Taylor and her, because they've been BFFs for a while. What's going to happen when Brooke finds out that Thomas is back working with her daughter and it was Taylor's idea? So I'm wondering if they're going to, because in order to keep Ridge out of the picture of coming between these two women, this would be an excellent way to do that, to cause that divide to happen. How dare you ask your son to come back to work with my daughter? That'd be a whole new story. So maybe that's why they're going that route by not having Brooke there. What do you guys think?
She's supposed to Brooke.
Wait a minute. Who's
going to tell him the only way she'll let him come back is if he apologizes to her mother again.
Mm-hmm. All right. What do you think, Nana?
I could go for that. What Jenna just said. Come back and apologize to Brooke again. Because, I mean, they ain't no just sweeping what he done under the rug.
And what about you, Bree?
To be honest, I don't think that Hope is going to make that a requirement because once again, she really don't have much of a choice to begin with. I would like to see Thomas do that on his own and apologize. And if Brooke accepts it, she accepts it. If not, then once again, she's not CEO of that company to say who works there and who doesn't.
Right.
She can have a vote, but she cannot say who works there and who does that. And I think this was Steffi's idea, I thought, of him coming back to work for it because she called Taylor and Thomas because Taylor she forced Thomas and Steffi to get along and work together on their brother-sister relationship. This is Steffi extending that olive branch and saying you know what, I'm trusting you're doing the work and you're trying to go along with the process of becoming a better man, a better father, a better brother, this, that, and the third, what he promised to her. So I'm hoping that he does this on his own and reaches out to Brooke. Honestly, I feel with Brooke and Liam, they're going to, talk Hope down to even agreeing to this, but that's more so they're not looking at the fact that this is Hope's line, this is Hope's identity, this is her brand, this is her baby, and they're really only giving her one option, and she can either kind of take it or leave it. So they either should be lifting her up to try to go ahead and, you know what, let's mend fences, or let's try to work this out and just work with Thomas. But that's going to really, I would like to see if this is going to mature Brooke, especially since Brooke and Taylor have been feuding for over 30 years, and they put each other through the worst of the worst in comparison to this call that Thomas made to break up their marriage, to break up Brooke and Rich's marriage. So Brooke has been through far worser things and had things, blew up in her face because of Taylor, Stephanie, whoever, that she should be able to move past this and encourage Hope and Thomas to work something out.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to work out moving forward. What is she going to decide? What is Brooke and Liam going to think about all of this? With Thomas, if Hope says yes, and you were right about that part, Bree. Yeah, so it was Steffi's decision to bring Thomas back. Taylor was the one to ask Steffi to forgive him, which of course led to her asking Thomas to come back to Forrester, and that as she said it, he's no longer banished. So yeah, it's going to be interesting this coming week. It's getting pretty good. I got to say, I'm liking the storyline between Deacon and Sheila. I'm curious to see what's happening. Yeah, exactly. I'm curious to see what happened with what Hope is going to decide. And then, of course, Young and the Restless. It's so many things going on over there. I'm absolutely loving it because of the fact it was so boring and so slow most of the end of 2022. All right, you guys. So let's get to our final segments, which is our flip the script and who's taking a seat. And all right, so for those that are new here who haven't been to our podcast on the YouTube side, our flip the script segment is if there's a particular scene or storyline that you wish you could change. That's where we flip the script. And then who's taking a seat is people that just absolutely got on your nerves this week and they need to go sit down somewhere. All right, so with our flip the script, I will. Who wants to go first for Young and the Restless?
I will.
Okay, go ahead.
Taking a seat.
No, flip. We're doing the flip the script first.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
If you want us to come back, we can.
Yeah, come back.
Okay, who else is ready?
I'll take it.
Go ahead, Jenna.
I would flip the script with Summer and her mother. I would have liked it when Phyllis did go to talk to her this last time. If Summer wouldn't have been so judgmental of her, trying to tell her about all of her past sins, like who is Summer to do that, I would have preferred Summer to say to her mother that she sees what her mother tried to tell her, and that she tried to understand, she could have made her mother understand her position, but that she did see what her mother has been trying to tell her, that it has happened. I'd like to see Summer tell her mother that she was right about what she tried to warn her about. Okay. That would be the flip script for me.
Okay, what you got, Bree?
It'd actually be a Nate, Nate, Victoria, and Devon. I feel that Nate should go to Devon and tell him Victoria's plan and convince him to buy Tucker's company. And he would leave Newman Media to go work with Devon, and that's how he gains his trust back with Devon.
Wait a minute, say that part again. You said Nate? Yeah.
Really good.
Say that again. So you want Nate to come back to work with Devon?
Yeah, I feel that you should tell Victoria's plan to Devon, because I feel that eventually he's going to get fed up with Victoria.
Okay.
Convince Devon to buy Tucker's company, and in return, Devon wants to hire him as CEO or COO of the company, and they gain their trust back with each other, especially since he's on the outs with Lily anyway.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. Are you ready, Nana?
Yeah, I would like to, I know it's too late, but I wish Devon could have gotten his company back, and that Lily has supported him in getting his company back. But I just don't like the fighting that's about to take place. And Christine is not going to lose. So,
okay.
That would be my flip the script.
Okay, so my flip the script for The Young and the Restless is Adam, when he was in that room talking to Sally, and Sally had the nerve to tell him, I'm pretty much freezing you out. He should have been, and I will say he should have been respectfully saying, I understand that you got something going on, but that child that you're carrying belongs halfly to me, and you're not going to freeze me out of trying to look out for the best interests of our unborn child. We can work out something, but to tell me that you don't want me around or don't need anything until after the kid is here, yeah, you got to come up with something else. But I did see Monday's episode, so I'll give that prize to Summer. And then what do you got for Bold? Who wants to go first for the flip for Bold? Go ahead, Bree.
If I were to flip the script, when Thomas goes to Brooke for forgiveness, I actually feel that she would forgive him. And
wait a minute. I'm talking about from this past week, because we don't know that's going to happen yet.
Okay, for flip the script, I had to come back to me. I had one.
Okay, we'll come back to you, girl. Who's ready for Bold?
Flip the script on.
Bold.
Pretty much like you already said. Bold. We talking about. I'm great talking about Bold, Young and Restless. On flip the script on Bold and the Beautiful. I would have liked for just for Hope to be forgiven, but I did not like the fact that they ganged up on her, and that's how I looked at it. You had Taylor and Steffy putting their minds together to help Thomas. No one did really to back Hope. I didn't. And then you're gonna come in and then you flip the script on her. Y'all all in agreement of something that apparently you already had discussed, but I didn't think that was right. So I would have rather had the script would have been flipped, that not just Steffi and her mother deciding what should be Thomas's role after all of these people put him out the company, and it wasn't just no Steffi. She wasn't even at the meeting. But I would rather that they had done it the way that it was taken from him in the beginning.
Okay, what about you, Jenna? What's your flip for bold?
I think that if I were going to flip it, I would have included Eric in that meeting, and I would have included Carter. And if it would have been me in Steffi's position, just to flip this for a minute, I would have invited Hope into the meeting without Thomas and without Taylor. I would have had her in the meeting with both Eric and Carter, and I would have had both of them explain to her the seriousness of the situation at her line before I would have had Thomas come in. And I would have already had discussed that with Eric, and I would have had Eric, who is the elder of this situation, and Carter, who handles the books for this situation, make it clear to her going in the door before. That's how I would have flipped that script.
Okay, gotcha. Bree, did you do yours?
Yeah. Okay, well, this is what I would feel for to flip the script. I think, and this is just like a fantasy that I've had, I feel like since we haven't seen Justin, I feel that would be the person who could catch Sheila and Deacon and try to get back in good graces with Bill and get back with that friendship again and bring that to the table.
Okay, gotcha. All right, my flip would have been Deacon setting boundaries with Sheila and said, look, if you want this to go down between us, you got to go fix that with Bill, because this could ruin a lot of people. Not only you going back to jail, but me and my relationship with Hope. So I would have been like, you want this? Then you need to go and figure out your situation with Bill first. That would have been my flip. All right, now who's taking seats? So for the Young and the Restless, Nana, who you want to take a seat this week?
Nick, Sally.
Nick and Sally. Okay.
Audra, and Nate, Victoria.
Oh my goodness, you got a whole row. What you got, Bree?
For the Young and the Restless, I'm going to need Lily to take a seat. I'm going to need her to take a Greyhound seat, cross country, just to try to settle down a little bit, come to grips with some things, and we'll blend her right back into Genoa City. If she's still on that mess, then I'm going to take her another Greyhound trip cross country until she get her act together.
Gotcha. All right, what you got? Who's taking a seat, Jenna, on the Young and the Restless?
Oh, Lord, it's going to be hard to say here. I think that Victoria should take a seat.
Okay.
And I think that if I had to say, I think Audra should definitely take a seat. Audra and Victoria would be my two.
Okay. Mine is Sally. Even if it's Sally needs to take a seat for what she tried to do with freezing out Adam. Nick needs to take a seat because he was trying to co-sign that too. So both of them can go have a seat separately, not together, separately.
Hello.
And then if I had to throw one other person in there, it would probably have been Victoria, because girl, you look super thirsty when it come to Nate. If Audra hadn't walked into that office, she was trying to get him out of his clothes in the CEO office. So, all right, who's taking a seat for bold? Anybody? Who going first?
I'll go.
Oh, go ahead, Bree.
For me, Sheila needs to take a seat. She needs to sit in that jail cell for at least 24 hours and realize the type of freedom that she has with Bill. She has a whole billionaire, a mansion. She came up out of years and years of being on the run from all of her foolishness, and she wants to throw it all away for Deacon. I understand Deacon is looking a little bit fine right now. I do understand that. But 24 hours in a jail cell just to take a quick seat so she can come to grips on her freedom that she has thanks to Bill.
Gotcha. Okay. Who's next? Nana, Jenna?
Hello? I started to take a seat.
Oh, for bold though.
I was see. Oh, this for bold. Oh, okay. Oh my God. I don't know why you keep saying this and my mind keep going back to Adam. I really feel bad for him, although I know that's why not. Bo and the beautiful who needs to take a seat. I would sit that Steffy down. I would sit that Taylor down. Who else would I sit down? I think them too. I really think they done Hope dirty. And I did like the way, I think it was Jen O'Brien said, that should have been discussed with Hope. Don't put her on the spot like that. I think that Steffi and her mom need to take a seat.
All right. Bree or Jenna?
I already went.
Oh, you went. Okay, Jenna, did you go for bold? Uh-oh.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
Duran, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I'm finally back.
Oh, you popped in. Okay.
Yeah, I've been in for like the last 7 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I was. It's fine. I will do the bold take a seat.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that I totally agree with what Bree, is it Bree or Bree that says she needs to take a seat? I totally agree. I mean.
Yeah, it's Bree, yeah.
Go ahead, Duran.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said. Sheila does need to take a seat. And what I guess Nana said, I totally agree with Steffi and Taylor, because that needed to be like, you needed to have like, that was like a private thing, And by the way, if you're gonna hire your brother back, I don't think you just, because you're the CEO, Hope doesn't really have a say so. So I'm just saying, look, when the boss says, hey, I'm hiring Thomas back to fix your line, you don't have no choice but to go along with it. Or take your butt to the unemployment line,
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't see the reason why Taylor needed to be there anyway. That wasn't, she doesn't work there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Can I do Y&R take a seat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My whole thing about Y&R, I have a huge problem with Josh Griffin, so I want him to definitely take it. Since he's the pilot, he already takes it. But let's get back to the characters. Lily definitely needed to take a seat because Lily done pushed everybody away that Ashley loved her. If she thinks that Jim loves her, mind you, you're not the owner of Chancellor. Isn't Jill like the CEO or owner of Chancellor?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier, is that if Jill decided to fire her tomorrow, she'd be out of a job.
Correct. That's correct. And for you to be going after, and for you to hold your brother's company at hostage is dead wrong. Because that's your dad's company that he built with Devon,
Mm-hmm.
And Victoria definitely has to take a seat for that. She was thirsty not once but twice this week.
Gotcha.
And Elena, I'm sorry to say this, but Elena definitely has to take a seat because Elena should definitely know the sign of your man having an affair.
Gotcha.
Isn't that how she got in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion on things. So, I totally agree with Audrey, but I long distance. She just informing Elena you're being played for a fool.
Gotcha. You know? That makes sense.
You know, that's called girl code. You know.
Gotcha. Now,
you know, I understand.
Okay. Now on bold, because I have to do my bold take a seat, I gotta say Hope. I'm sorry. I mean, the thing is that sometimes when you're not the boss and bosses and executives make decisions, you might not like it, but it is what it is. Hey, I work at a company, there's a hierarchy, and sometimes there's decisions made that we don't agree with. So, I get it, the whole thing, but yeah, I mean, I would say Hope. And on the other side, Sheila, come on now. Sheila is, you look like Bree said. Bree said that you living in that big old mansion with that billionaire boyfriend of yours. He wants to know how you feel, how you doing. He's taking care of you. He's keeping you out of prison for the rest of your life, and you got the nerve to talk trash to your sneaky link about what your main guy is doing. I mean, and then turn around and about to sleep with him too. I mean, girl, you're putting your freedom on the line for a quickie or two.
And she could have lied. She could have made up some feelings. She could have said she was stressed out. She could have said she was tired. She could have said this man anything. That's all he just wanted to express some sort of emotion. She could have said, like, I miss my other toe. She could have said anything.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just not the type of man that she was.
Yeah. She about to trade in a good sex, a good this. I'm trying to pick the right word so I won't throw off the algorithm. But she's looking for a good night in the sack. Over her freedom. But, and see, that's the thing, Steffi and everybody else is trying to figure out how to get her out of town and back in jail. She's going to end up doing it herself. So, all right, you guys, I enjoyed it. We didn't have any interruptions with the stream, which is great. I know we had some hiccups on the podcast side, which we normally don't. I'm like, dang, can we just have a smooth broadcast with no... I mean, seriously. But, no, we worked it out on the podcast side. But I'm glad that this new streaming service that I have, that was free, by the way, is actually working really well. We didn't have any lags. We didn't have any sound going out like we've had in the past month or so. So... all right, you guys, we're going to end it right here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you also want to follow us on Instagram, I'm usually posting little memes and different things over there in regards to some of the funny stuff. I'm over on CBS Soap Dish Recap on Instagram. It's easy to find. Just type it in. And then over here, daily recaps. I apologize for not doing one yesterday because I had a serious muscle twitch, crick, whatever you want to call it, in my neck and in my upper back. And I was like, I was trying to figure out something to do with it. So, yeah, it was a struggle yesterday. It was a struggle yesterday. But I'm glad we were able to do the lives and everything, and I appreciate you guys. So until next week, stay tuned for the spoilers for the week of March 6th through March 10th. And until then, we will talk to you later. See you guys on the podcast side. Thanks, Bree. Thanks, Nana. And thanks, Jenna. And also Duran. Thanks, you guys, so much for helping me out as we, we missing Trish and Keisha today. So, all right.
Thank you. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Yeah, have a great weekend, you two. Bye-bye.